guys, so I'm kind of back. I say kind of because we're not going to have the same schedule as we used to, just because of time and just a bunch of other things. Let's start with where I've been. So I actually started streaming on Twitch, so I now have a Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/tarah.ruiz, TARAHRUIZ. I will leave that down in my bio for this video. I also have a gaming YouTube, but I really don't have anything on there right now, so I'm not going to bother with that until I start making content for it. Twitch actually has me as an affiliate now, so I can make some money from there, but it's not like YouTube where I get ad revenue and a bunch of sponsorships. Affiliate really doesn't make any money, but you know. A little bit of updates. Our house, our carpet, and our hardwood floors, they got changed, so I am very much happy with how they look. I think that they're a lot better than what it used to be because that ugly ass blue carpet is now gone. But getting into why I left. I think I've been gone from YouTube for about 4 months now, and I still love YouTube as much as I used to. It's just I sold my iMac and I didn't really have anything to edit, and I also wasn't feeling it. I got very depressed. I make this as much sense as possible because it's kind of hard to explain. So in June, TMI, but I got a little bit of a period and it was very weird, but I was like, you know what, I haven't had my period in like 5 months, so I think we're good to go and say that I finally am getting my period back. And then we made a trip with some friends on the 4th of July out to the Lake of Ozarks, and we were just on a boat, social distancing, you know, we were having fun on a boat. I was supposed to get my period on the 4th of July, and I was like, you know what, maybe my body's not as normal as I thought it was going to be, so maybe I'm just not going to get it right now. Maybe I'm supposed to get it at the end of the month. We don't know. So I took an ovulation test just to take an ovulation test because I am very anal about taking those. And I saw that it popped up very high, and I was like, that's kind of weird. So what I did was I took a pregnancy test, because whenever I get a high ovulation test, when it's not supposed to be my ovulation week, I take a pregnancy test because they say that the ovulation tests can give you a positive pregnancy, if that makes sense. Just basically, if you pop up a high ovulation, then you're pregnant. And I didn't think that I was pregnant. I thought that something was wrong with me again. So I took it, and I didn't think that there was going to be anything of it. And it popped up positive. And unfortunately, I don't think I have the clips of me getting like the actual pregnancy test positive reaction, but I do have some reactions, so I'm going to leave that at the end of this video if you guys want to watch that. But I ended up sending a bunch of Snapchats to my friends while I was taking them because I was like, I'm so stressed out, like I thought I was getting my period again, like I thought things were going back to fucking normal, you know. And then I ended up calling Cammie, bawling my fucking eyes out because I was like, I have a fucking positive pregnancy test. What am I gonna do? Who am I gonna tell? So my husband was upstairs, and I was like bawling my eyes out downstairs in the downstairs bathroom, trying to figure out what the fuck to do, and saying, oh my god, I have another false pregnancy test, like this is fucking stupid, like why am I going through this again? I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go get more pregnancy tests because I don't have any more. And I went and got like 5 more fucking pregnancy tests, and they all came back positive. So I told my husband that I was gonna go run some errands in Warrensburg, and went to the local walk-in clinic, and I was like, I need to get a pregnancy test done, and I'm afraid that it's another false positive because I had a false positive. Very sorry that I'm talking fast, but I'm trying not to cry. When I went to the walk-in clinic, they told me that they were going to get a blood work done and they were going to take my urine. I did both, and the urine test came back positive, but they were like, it was super faint and it took a while to come up, which didn't make any sense because I used a bunch of Walmart tests and they popped up immediately, and those are the tests that they use at the walk-in clinic. And they told me that I for sure was in fact pregnant. So I rushed to Walmart, I grabbed a onesie, I had my great friend Katie make me a little onesie for my husband so that I could show him, and then I put it in a shoebox with a bunch of pregnancy tests, and then I wrote oops on the top of the shoebox, which you'll see that in the video clips. And then I basically told my husband, and then I told my family, and everything was going great. I was really fucking happy. I was drinking a lot of water, more than I've probably ever drank in my fucking life, which is sad because I should probably drink more water. And one night, a couple weeks later in August, I was starting to cramp, and I didn't think anything of it because all my friends were like, oh, it's just implantation cramping, like you're just gonna cramp, you're fine. And then a bunch of other doctors were also telling me I was fine, so I was like, okay, I'm fine. And then the next day I started bleeding very lightly, and I was like, okay, well, maybe this is just implantation bleeding. And I didn't realize that the period I had in June was actually implantation bleeding because it was so light. Please ignore my cat. She's trying to get in my papasan chair and she's struggling. So I started getting really worried because I was like, well, why am I bleeding this much? And I felt like something was wrong. I didn't feel like it was implantation bleeding because I kept telling my friends, are you sure this is okay? And they were fine with me sending them pictures of everything, even though it's TMI, so they're great for that. They were like, yeah, like I feel like you're fine, like I don't think that there's anything wrong with you, I think it's just implantation bleeding because it's so light. And then it started to get a lot clottier, which was not good. So I ended up waking up my husband, and he took me to the ER around 10 p.m. I think. So we got there around like 10:30, 11 p.m. And we get into the office and they're like, okay, what's going on? And I was like, I'm pregnant and I don't really know how far along I am because we had just found out, and they couldn't really tell me how far along I was because, well, I had implantation bleeding, not a period. I hadn't had a period for 6 months prior to that. So, because the bleeding that I had in June, I literally bled for 2 days. So they didn't think that it was my period. So that we couldn't tell how far along I was. And so they took me back and they put me into a room and they did a transvaginal ultrasound, they did pap smears, they did a bunch of blood work, they gave me some pain meds, which I don't really know why they gave me that because I wasn't in pain. And when we did the transvaginal, they told me that I was around 6 weeks, I think they said, but that they couldn't see the baby, which wasn't good. And they were pretty sure that I had passed my baby when I was bleeding and that I was for sure having a miscarriage. Then they basically told me if I had started bleeding more, that if I was soaking up like 2-3 pads, that I needed to go back to the ER for overbleeding. So they sent us home around 4 a.m. and thankfully my husband's work completely understood and they let him stay home the next day. I never actually thought that after finding out there was something wrong with my body chemically wise that I was gonna have to go through an issue with pregnancy. I didn't think that it was going to happen to me, which no one really does think it's going to happen to them. And the only reason I'm sharing this is because YouTube is my platform for me to share things. YouTube is like a diary to me, I guess. It's for me to share memories, and I want to share this with the people that are here for me. And I know there's not a lot of people out there that are here for me, but I'm very grateful for those who are. And I got very depressed after that. I really didn't want to eat. I didn't want to do anything. I lost interest in reading. I lost interest in doing schoolwork, and even now I have very, very hard times trying to read and do schoolwork and just live my life. But I'm getting better, and that's all that matters. And thankfully for Twitch, that has given me the best of friends that I could have, because they fucking make me laugh almost every fucking day. Like, we play it every single day, and I still don't get tired of them. So I'm really grateful for the people that have been here for me. And there's a lot of people who still didn't know, and I did share it to Instagram and Facebook that I had had a miscarriage. So there are people who do know that aren't in my inner circle. Here are the clips of me finding out, of me telling people, and just a bunch of other things. And I already edited that like a month ago because I was gonna post this earlier, but every time I would sit here and try and re-watch the video, I would cry. And specifically, every time I watched the video, the reason I would cry would be, ironically, my mom's reaction to me telling her I was pregnant. It's still really sad. Like I said, I'm still struggling But I want to thank every one of you for staying. I want to thank every one of you for being patient. And hopefully I'll be back sooner or later. And hopefully I'll have more content coming out. But right now Twitch is my main factor. And YouTube will always be another main factor. But right now I'm on a break for school. So there's not really much I'm doing. I'll probably film a couple other videos if we go down to Alabama for Thanksgiving. Just pray for that because the military is going to piss me off if they don't allow us to go. Make sure you guys check out my Twitch. I'll leave that link in the bio. I'll also leave my YouTube in the bio and the people that I play with so you guys can check them out because I think that they're amazing and they do great with Twitch. I'm really glad that they've shown me the ropes and all that stuff. So. But I love you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.
There were photographs I wanted to take, things I wanted to show you.
I'm like literally fucking, I look like trash. I'm like literally just fucking shaking, and I just FaceTime Cammy to see like, so I was supposed to go get blood testing done on the 3rd day of my period, but my period was late again. And the last time, like in my video, the last time I explained to you, my last period was February, and I got a period last month for a little bit, but it was like very like off and on, like it was like there was nothing there. And it was late and I was supposed to go get blood testing, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go take an ovulation test and a pregnancy test just to make sure. And I started bawling because like I was like, no, I can't go through this again. Like this is the pregnancy test and you can see it, like it's getting darker, and this is the ovulation test. I swear to God. Like I'm about to bawl my eyes out. I feel like I'm about to pass out. They just did both arms because there was a trainer, like a nurse in training or like whatever, and she did this arm and the needle slipped out and I bled a lot. So I have to pee again. Ruin this. I apologize. So I wrote oops on the lid, and then Eden, you're gonna have to move. Put pregnancy test.
Alright, well, take 2.
But this time's for real. Look.
Your mom right there.
Ron, what are you gonna tell us?
Nothing, I'm just calling.
Are you period yet?
No.
No, look, I'll say I.
You don't want to say what?
I'm not going to tell you what I was going to tell you. Maybe a little bit on the extremely too much information session.
I don't know, is that too much information?
Yeah, Mom.
I told her she should do it 14 days prior to, and a few days supposedly after.
Hold on, what's that say?
What?
Holy shit. Hold that shit still up.
Nuh-uh. I told you.
See?
For real?
Yeah. I went and got blood drawn today in both of my fucking arms.
I got goosebumps.
I know. See, I told you.
You're pregnant? Again?
Again, this is the first time, technically.
She said she took 5. You took 5?
Technically 6. I went to... Listen, it's 10:25 at night. I drank, I think I'm on my 3rd thing of 30 ounces of water, so I'm not gonna finish that before bed, I know for sure. I'm fucking exhausted and watching Criminal Minds and waiting for Hennis to come to bed, so very weird. Like my stomach is starting to cramp, which I know is normal, like it's not bad cramping, it's like kind of there. I've been tired since 8, but I had schoolwork to do, so I did some of that. I also low-key kind of made a baby registry, so.
Oh, you're just laying down.
Bro, I'm fucking watching Grey's Anatomy. I'm just chilling like a fucking villain, bro.
Oh shit, man. Well, I mean, this time it's real.
No! Tara, that was so fucking fast! How did you do that? Look, I scared her. Look.
Can you scare your own child?
Can I not eat cake without being judged?
I'm not judging you.
So why are you just sitting here recording me?
Can I have some?
No! Ever since we bought the thing, you've been eating it. There's 3 pieces missing. This is my first time. If anything, you should keep sipping on that water and use that as food.
I have a bean growing in me.
Excuse. You want cake?
I can't not buy yours.
No! There's cake over there!
But I don't want that one.
I don't give a fuck. This is my cake. You laugh. I'm laughing too. But you're fucking ridiculous. You got me fucked up. God, women. What? Just give me the ring back. I'm gonna go marry a dude or something.
Not high enough to, it's not high enough to the point where we would expect to actually see a pregnancy in the uterus. Right now what we see is, on ultrasound we see a gestational sac without, sac or fetal cord, basically.
So without the baby, basically.
Yeah, basically. So we see a structure in there that's probably the pregnancy, but we can't confirm it as a pregnancy until we see that yolk sac. What looks like a cyst on your left ovary, it doesn't look like a pregnancy outside the uterus or anything like that. So